Hi, I'm Mark Sniderman, and I'm going to talk about Economics 376, Inside the Financial Crisis. This course is a case study of the events leading up to the recent financial crisis of 2007 and its aftermath. You know, this recent financial crisis was a great surprise. To economists, it was something like the bubonic plague must have been to public health officials. You probably think that it's over, and only to discover that we had experienced the greatest catastrophe in financial markets and for our economy since the Great Depression of the 1930s. This is a great class for all students who are interested in how economic thinking can help you understand and analyze events that are taking place around you. So in this course, we're going to go beyond superficial conversations about the financial crisis, how it happened, who's to blame, and so forth. We're going to go beyond that and beyond some of the stereotypes, and we're going to really analyze who the players are, the participants, and some of the different incentives they had for making the decisions they did in the marketplace. You'll discover that the financial system really has a lot of moving parts, and the participants in the system have different incentives and they face different constraints on their behavior. So sure, superficially, the financial crisis was about home buyers and mortgage bankers, and lots of discussion about whether home buyers were taken advantage of by mortgage bankers or whether mortgage bankers were taken advantage of, in some cases, by home buyers. But we're going to go well beyond that. The housing finance system actually attracted money from all over the world. We're going to see in the course that new financial instruments developed to channel money from those who had funds to invest to those who were willing to borrow it, to take out mortgages, and for lots of other purposes as well. And in the process of these new financial instruments being developed, we also saw new connections develop between financial institutions and financial markets. We'll also talk about the interconnectedness and risk exposures in the system that very few people recognized, even some of the most sophisticated participants. We're going to see that many investors who thought they had safe conservative investments, for example, people managing pension funds who thought they were making conservative investments on behalf of retirees, discovered to their surprise and to their financial loss that they were exposed in very significant ways to risks that they were unable to cope with when the financial crisis began to move through the system. We'll also talk about the regulators. Were some of the regulators who might have caught some of the behavior asleep at the switch, or were they just overmatched in some sense by the sophistication of the ways in which the financial markets developed around them? Or put another way, did we end up having a 20th century regulatory system trying to regulate a 21st century financial system? And finally in the course, we'll consider what lessons should we have learned from the financial crisis, and what's the likelihood that steps will be taken to prevent the same type of systemic risk failures from showing up again. So I'd like to strongly encourage all students who are interested to take Economics 376 and learn what happened inside the financial crisis.